Hi, welcome to The Inner Way. Today's program is entitled Halt Every Thought. Hi, welcome to The Inner Way, a program exploring the spirituality of the Orthodox Church. I'm your host, Father David Smith. This is our 14th program, the 7th in a series on the spiritual discipline of Ezekiel, or in English, stillness or inner peace. I've been using the writings of Saint Ezechias from the Philokalia, and today I want to quote from the 6th paragraph of his book, which is entitled Watchfulness and Holiness. Quote, "Watchfulness is a continual fixing and halting of thought at the entrance of the heart. In this way, predatory and murderous thoughts are marked down as they approach, and what they say and do is noted. And we can see in what specious and delusive form the demons are trying to deceive the intellect. If we are conscientious of this, we can gain much experience and knowledge of spiritual warfare." When I was living at home, I think I was about 10 or 12 years old, I was walking by the kitchen when my mother took a pan out of the oven. I think they call it a Dutch oven. She was making a roast. Her finger brushed against the metal surface and she jumped a little, and the top of the pan fell off on the floor. I wasn't thinking, and I went and picked it up, trying to be helpful. Boy, what a mistake that was. I got third-degree burns on both of my hands. I can still see that Dutch oven. The color is etched in my memory, and to this day, it is my least favorite color. The same thing happens to us spiritually. When we're not thinking, we grab something that we shouldn't, and it injures us. But here's the difference. We often don't know we've been injured. We think everything is fine. Red hands with blisters? What's the big deal? They're usually that way, aren't they? Pain shooting up my arm? That's normal, right? But occasionally an experience comes along that teaches us the truth about the signals. In my case, the stove, the Dutch oven, my mother had already gotten burned, and so on, of the unwanted discomfort and the pain those signals portend. In other words, it takes us some time before we conclude, spiritually speaking, that we don't like pain. I think we miss this realization mostly because there are a multitude of things in this world that dull spiritual pain, and most of us turn to them even early in life and continue to rely on them even up till the moment we die. One day I was hanging around with some kids from the neighborhood, and one of them had stolen a pack of cigarettes from the local store. We took them somewhere where we couldn't be seen, and each of us tried one. You can imagine what it was like. If the billows of smoke didn't give us away, the choir of gagging boys certainly would. But some of us kept at it and became addicted later in life. That's the way it happens spiritually. Children know certain things in their hearts. They know right from wrong, but the adults in their lives teach them to doubt their natural inclinations, and they soon find that sinning is easy to do, like an alcoholic stopping by a liquor store on the way home from work. It's effortless. I'll give you another example. St. John Climacus wrote in the Ladder of Divine Ascent, quote, "There is an evil spirit called the Forerunner who assails us as soon as we awake from sleep and defiles our first thought." It's on page 177 of the Holy Transfiguration edition. This always happened to me, but I didn't recognize it. I would wake in the morning and almost instantly begin to think of some wrong that someone had done to me, often years before. I brushed my teeth every morning with the toothpaste of bitterness. It wasn't until I read that line — I used to read the Ladder all the way through during every Lent — it wasn't until I read that line that I started to notice that this was happening and substituted the Jesus prayer for my angry musings. I substituted moments of peace, Ezekiel, for ridiculous revenge scenarios and rehearsals of snappy comebacks should I ever find myself in a situation like that again. The key to Ezekiel's advice is that we look at the ways the demons trip us up so that they won't be able to do it next time, so that we're ready. I like to think of the inner way more in terms of a sport than a battle, the way that St. Ezekiel does. He often uses war images. In a battle, when you make a mistake, that might be the end of your life. But that's not the way it is in our battle with the demons. Not at all. And the reason is because of God's mercy. When temptation knocks us down, we get up, we ask forgiveness, and we do what Ezekiel suggests. See in what specious and delusive form the demons are trying to deceive the intellect. That's why I say we should think of it as a sport. When we lose one contest, we regroup, we analyze, strengthen ourselves, and then go into the next contest with renewed confidence. It's not the end of the world when we lose. It's not good, but it's not the end of the world. Watchfulness is not easy, just as keeping our minds on the inner way during the Divine Liturgy is not easy. It's difficult to, as St. Ezekiel says, stop the thoughts at the entrance to the heart. But this becomes a little easier when we understand the link between our thoughts and the demons. First of all, the demons do not possess us, so they have to work from the outside in order to lead us astray. They have only images to put in front of us and whispers. Those are their only weapons. But what happens? Our thoughts run to the images. Our thoughts listen to the whispering. And then we're in trouble. We spoke about this 2 programs ago. Remember the creepy illustration of the demons suggesting something to us, and then our own thoughts chase after it and enter into impassioned intercourse with it. This is why Ezekiel mentions thoughts first and the demons after. They're not the same, but they're linked. In time, we learn what precedes the temptation. I might say we become very sensitive to the color of the 400-degree Dutch oven lid, and we learn how to overcome the demons by training our thoughts to ignore them, to just keep walking. Next week, we're going to continue to hear from St. Ezekias, the master of watchfulness and stillness, who has much to teach us about the inner way. I hope you join us, and until then, see you in church.